I want to welcome everyone here. It's an honor to have you, and I will do everything I possibly can from my heart tonight, to help you to feel better. I won't talk about emotional stuff. Those are strictly private appointments. I don't want to spew everyone's stuff out in front of everyone else. And if anyone's interested in an appointment for an elaboration on what we do, please, contact me and I'll work with you. And if you're hurting financially, I can most likely help you with the appointment in various ways. And let's see what else. We got the healing clinic tomorrow. It's a mini appointment for anyone who signs up for that. It's pretty awesome. It's for 20 minutes and I'll work with you individually. And it's through Zoom, or if you prefer telephone or FaceTime, whatever your preference. And I even do Skype now if anyone's interested or needs that. And let's see what else. Let me do this. Yeah, the healing clinic's on Thursday. And thanks, Lynn. I appreciate that. And also sign up for the newsletter at the website. You'll at markearlix.com, and you'll be kept up to date for everything. And there'll also be links on there as well that you can register for classes and stuff. And every Tuesday, unless otherwise notified, the healing circle, like tonight. And on the 12th through the 15th, I believe it is the anxiety, worry, and fear workshop. It's a 4-day workshop. We already got several signups. And so if you're interested in that, it's going to be awesome. The last one was awesome, and nothing but compliments and testimonials from that. And so please sign up for that. It'll help you in the world of anxiety, worry, and fear. Even if you say, oh, no, it doesn't bother me that much. There's a lot of understanding in it, a lot of exercises. There's a lot of practicum in it that you can take out into the world for yourself and helping other people as well. It's an hour and a half a day. Take advantage of it for 4 days. And then let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, that's the anxiety, worry, and fear. And we have, that's called a deeper understanding of yourself and others. And then I do appointments. The appointments are, just contact me. They're pretty deep. They might be real light according to your needs and your desires. And I work with the body, I work with the emotions. Take advantage of that if you can. And also, if you feel you would like to give something from your heart, you can go to the website. There's a place called Gifting, is it donating or gifting? Lynn, do you know offhand? I don't know. One or the other.
It's Gifting from the Heart.
Gifting from the Heart. Good. All right. Your soul loves it. So take advantage of it. And there's always reciprocal action as you acknowledge things. And that's one great way to acknowledge as well. Other than that, any questions or comments I can try to answer, please, from anyone. Harry, anything? You look like you want to ask something, please. Nothing at all?
Not yet.
Okay, you got it. Lewis, anything at all?
Well, without going into my condition that's going on, the thing is, I've done prayer work. I've dealt with 2 or 3 healers, and nothing seems to work. It's like I'm not fearful, but I'm just kind of like discouraged and kind of frustrated. I don't seem to see any progress. I mean, I'm trying to, use this part of my life to kind of lift my consciousness, but I'm being brought down with all these physical things that keep popping up. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I understand. And, it happens with many, 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 many people of a similar nature. And, I think that one of the greatest things is to learn to trust without turning our head back and see if it's happening. Because that's a derailment as well. Sure, some things need to be taken care of through medical science if you can find someone that's really good and trustworthy. And, if you get an inclination to do something, to go ahead and do it, for yourself. Whether it be going to medical science or doing something for yourself and listening to that, what the old ones, the mystical ones, the fathers used to say as the small, still voice within. Intuition plays a good role in this too. But I'll give you an example. I went yesterday. I had an appointment at the Apple store, and I knew it was in this one area about 10 miles away. That was a real ritzy area, and in this mall, open mall, and they were just packed. They're always packed with people, and you can never find a space. So on the way there, I said, okay, God, have your angels get, get me a place right in front as soon as I pull up. And, but I kept, going, and everyone does this. I don't care how advanced they are or how unadvanced they are. They always say, God, I hope I get this space, or they start worrying about it, or they're wishing it. God, give me the space. They haven't let it go. And so I really realized that I'm usually pretty good at getting spaces, but I said it really quick, and I caught myself beginning to doubt myself and wishing that I would get a good space. And so I said to myself, stop it. The angels are going to take care of me as far as, getting something in manifestation for me. It's my will. I accept this done. I command it done, and that's it. And then I had to turn away, and I started looking at another car while driving all the way there. And I forgot all about it. And so I pulled into this road that led into the mall, and all these cars are in front of me. And I knew I had to turn in a quarter of a block. And I watched all these other cars turn in a quarter of a block, because that's where all the parking was for the right in front, near the store, not only in front, but near the store. And I'm watching all these cars, and I'm saying, damn. And they all just passed to the end of the road, which is another less than a quarter of a block away. And they made a U-turn, but right in front of the store was a space. And I just pulled right into it. And all these other cars are coming back around, not even knowing. So my point is that we have an opportunity to accept it. And even I, at times, have that difficulty. Show me a perfect person, I'll follow them anywhere. But if we can catch ourselves in the doubt, say, no, I commanded this to happen. I accepted this to happen. And I know the angels are going to take care of me. And I pictured the space in front of the store. It was the exact space that I pictured. And it was the only empty space out of the whole area near there. So, it happens. And we have control of that once we realize we have control. It's accepting, and that's it. It's just totally accepting. And we can do that with things in our body as well. We can affect our bodies, not only in that form, but, we can take a look inside and wonder, okay, what is this? But it's important to be indifferent. That's, the big thing, to be able to observe objectively. And then a cause might come out, or we'll get an idea what can take care of it. or something of that nature. Or we might even hear a voice saying, not to worry, this is just a passing thing. I don't know. Or get medical help, or call Mark, and set up an appointment. Who knows? Who knows? I worked with, and I'll get right back to you, Louis. I know you had a question there. Today, there was a woman that called me for the second time. I worked with her last week or 2 weeks ago in an appointment, and she had a rotator cuff that was really bad. It just came out of nowhere, and she couldn't bend her arm back, couldn't pull it back to get her safety belt on in the car. And so I worked with her, and half of it went away that first day. Then she called me for another appointment, and we worked with it. And I just said to myself that this has no place in her life. And I pictured through my imagination to image in action, watching it, her go like this and saying, oh my God, this is great. Well, I worked with her for a couple moments, a few minutes, I should say. And then I said, okay, pull your arm back. And she went, oh my God. So, it's learning to accept. That's all healing is knowing and accepting. It's no different. No different. So, it's learning to be objectively observant without the emotional attachment, without the ties to it, without the worry, without the fear, without the anxiety, without any of this stuff. It's giving it to what I call God. Everyone has a different name for it, or calling it God. Doesn't care. Doesn't care what we call it. So we can do these things, and they can be helped most often. Most often. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, Louis, I can't hear you hardly.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And two things, I agree with you. I mean, I've come to the point where, I've just kind of surrendered to it and accept the fact that these things are going on, and I have to just deal with them the best way I can without, worrying about it.
And without settling with them, settling that, they're going to be there for the rest of my life, or they're going to lead into something else. I might as well give in.
As long as I know I'm doing what I can, then I'm okay with that. But when it kind of comes to faith, I always kind of remember what President Reagan used to say when he was dealing with rogue nations. He says, trust them, but verify. Whenever you made a treaty with somebody. So the thing is, I'm not seeing the verification. And it's hard to have faith without seeing some type of evidence that, things
Then we're going
happen.
then we're going to constantly go over their shoulders, see if it's really real. Make sense? It's taking knowing and going forth with your knowing. It's learning how to do that. It takes baby steps, but those baby steps are huge steps.
I try to remind myself of things that have happened in the past, where, prayed for something, or I just had attitude that I was going to attract this into my life. And it did happen. It happened on many occasions. But at this particular time, I don't see much happening. Let's put it that way.
I understand.
But I agree with everything you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I work on those things.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. No rush for anything. We do things in our own time. We have understandings when they come to us. Those understandings are revelations to be revealed from within. There are aha moments in life. And then it takes us to step out on them and trust them and accept them. So, cool. All right, great. There's no one greater or lesser or anything else. I'm better at this than most people on earth because I practice it. That's all. I practice it more than other people. No other reason. No other reason. And I was shown that people could do this, and so I teach it. And it's my own experience, it's my own teachings, it's everything. So, and I don't get this stuff from books, though it would be, I'm not saying books are bad, they're not, they stimulate the imagination. But I haven't read anything in over 30 years, 25, 30 years. And so the information comes from inside, but it only comes from inside because it's to be shared with other people. And I believe with all my heart that we live with God. We don't live separate from it. We live with it, whatever you want to call it. Source, creator, nameless one, universal consciousness, it doesn't care. As long as you're beginning to understand that we live with it, there's never been a separation of it from us and us from it. We live with it. It's almost, I always often see this analogy as it's almost like we have this terrarium and we put, little plants in it and we close it up. And we leave it there for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and it turns into like this beautiful forest. Well, it's self-contained. It has all of its needs in there. And we have that too. We live on this orb in Earth that is self-contained in this universe that has no other oxygen around it. So except for the immediate environment that we've, that we're wrecking, but at the same time, it's there and it's waiting to be utilized for us. So that's why I see things as this little terrarium in the middle of space. So we can tap into it, and it's waiting for us 24/7. I guess, one way of tapping into it is wondering about it. If we wonder deeply and really focus with all of our heart and all of our mind in wondering about something, things are going to happen to us and we're going to get answers either through hearing or seeing. If we wonder about something, that's what it gets down to. And we see that we've never been separate from our source. Cool. Cool. Any questions about that, anyone? Please, I can try to answer. Please, what are your questions? Anything, Lewis? Turn on your mic.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. I have the feeling that, I'm probably going to be okay. That's kind of like that underlying feeling. It's just that for some reason I need to go through this, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So
yes,
I just need to do it and not complain about it. And,
yeah. Keep in mind that fear propagates itself, and it affects us. Fear affects us mentally, emotionally, and physiologically, and it keeps perpetuating itself. The greater the fear we have, and the longer it lasts, and it creates situations for us.
Yeah, I agree, because in the beginning when I was diagnosed, it was like, it kind of freaked me out. People say that you have cancer. The first thing is, oh my God, I'm going to die. I would wake up in the morning like terrified, but I've overcome that. And what I would do every time I felt that way, I would just sit in my chair and I get quiet, go within, and I would just breathe, taking in deep breaths. And that fear, I would kind of breathe it in and kind of like exhale and release it into my heart. That was like the technique I used.
Yeah, and I understand totally. But also recognize that every single time you're doing that, you don't remember the cancer. It's not possible. If you're doing one thing, you're not doing another. Just keep that in mind. Cool. All right. All right. Bing or Nini, any questions or comments, please? Anything? Go ahead. Anything, Nini?
No, so far I'm okay. Thank you.
All righty. And Bing?
I just wanted to add to what was said. When you're diagnosed with cancer, I went through that 1998.
Uh-huh.
I actually didn't cry, didn't worry about myself. I worried about my family.
I understand.
I went to the treatment, and and I thought, I have I cannot control this. I have no control over it. I'm just gonna go
Sure.
with the treatment, leave my faith in God.
Good.
And so I think after the treatments that I got, 6 months later, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And I was in pain. And I never
Good.
cried when I was diagnosed with cancer, but that pain made me cry.
Yep.
So I went to church, and when I came home, and I just cried my heart out, and I said, I leave it up to you, to heal
Sure.
me. And sure, I have aches and pains every day, but I don't let it bother me. I guess I'm in
Good.
remission. I've been in remission for a long time. So my
Good.
point is that if you just have faith and let him guide you. Let him, it's his decision, actually, our lives. It's not up to us. So just
Okay.
live it to the fullest.
Good. That's true. Everything that you said is true. Now, before we start here, with working with people, I just want to mention one quick story. Many, 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 many years ago, it was about maybe 30, 35 years ago, I was diagnosed. I couldn't get out of bed. I was hurting so bad. I was diagnosed with, and then someone recommended a rheumatologist to me. So a couple days later, I got to a rheumatologist, and the rheumatologist says I had very severe arthritis throughout my body and fibromyalgia, and it was literally eating up my bones and cartilage and my muscles. And so, and he aspirated in between my joints and put the fluid under a microscope. And he said, take a look at this. And he showed me a bunch of crystalline that was my joint material that was falling apart. He says, that's what you got. So he gave me this bag of medications to take home, these samples and stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff. And I said, I don't want anything to do with this. So I went to bed, and then I couldn't get up. And then, and I'm figuring, oh my God, here I am, this great healer, and I can't even take care of myself. And so I got up and I started kneeling before this little shrine I had. And I said, okay, God, kill me, take my life. And then all of a sudden there was a voice that came to me. He said, do something for yourself. Do something for yourself that doesn't include anyone else or anything else, just for yourself. And so I'm figuring, what can I do? I have no idea. I was just working 14 hours a day, seeing people when I was working, and 7 days a week. And that's more important. And so healing people, and the voice said, do something for yourself. And so I figured, okay. So I started going to a movie once a week. And then I started actually feeling better, doing something for myself. And I kept this up for several weeks, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks. And I was just enjoying myself, going to a movie by myself. and I actually started feeling better. And I had movement in my hands, I had movement in my feet. It didn't hurt anymore, nothing. I did something for myself. And so I've recommended that for people also. And it's just very important. Whether it be doing something in art or a craft or digging in soil or taking walks or going to a movie, whatever. It just enjoying yourself for that half an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And so ever since then, every week I do something for myself. That was many years ago, about 30, 35 years ago. The arthritis is what I call the stubborn disease. It's having your mind made up about something in life and just knowing that's the only way it is. And if we can do something for ourselves, it breaks that pattern to some degree. I just wanted to share that as well. Hope that makes sense with people who are hurting or not feeling well or whatever. Okay, so Harry, any one thing that you would like me to work with, my dear friend?
Yes, Mark, we've been working on my lower back, and I would like to continue that. Some of the things that you've spoken of today have given me some new ideas on how I can work with that, but I would like you to pray for it so that I can put those into motion. And I know that it's been so helpful to me, so we'll just continue with that kind of prayer.
All right, now, have you noticed change in your back since we started working with it in these healing circles?
Yes, I mean, it is definitely getting better, but
Okay, good.
I need to be turning it over more to my higher power and
Trusting it
and trusting it.
and saying, hey, higher power,
Yeah. And
what are you going to do for this? How are you going to
Right.
help this?
Exactly. And that's what kind of came to me with what you were sharing with Lewis earlier. It really makes a good deal of sense, and I'm going to
Yeah.
practice that.
If we're turning it over, then we don't have it anymore. We don't have the thought of controlling it or wanting to do it or needing to do it because we're trusting a higher source to do it.
Exactly.
Then we don't have to carry the burden of that. Good. Yeah, I'd like to work with your back.
Thank you.
And sometimes God says, okay, I'll help you, but what are you going to do about it?
I need to work that too.
Yes. And your muscles need a little stimulation.
Correct.
So, okay,
Thank you.
my pleasure, my friend. Lewis, any one thing you would like me to work with, please?
Yeah, I'd like to work on my knees, both my knees. I've had stem cell therapy, so I used to have like 24-hour pain in my knees, shooting pain, but that's gone. But I still can't walk very far without them really hurting bad. I have trouble walking upstairs or uneven ground, and that's something I can tell if it's better or not. The cancer's like got a lot of things going on there. So
Do you have cancer in your knees?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm just saying the cancer thing. That's That's a whole separate issue.
I was confused
I'm-
what you're talking about there.
yeah,
If we started off with your knees, then you went to something else.
yeah. I just wanted to switch because the knees is something I can see and feel. If there's improvement, where the cancer is kind of hard to tell. It takes time and testing to see.
Yeah,
see
let's stay with
results.
one thing. I don't want to get scattered because it does nothing.
Yeah, the knees. My
Oh,
knees.
okay. Well, I might as well tell you about my mother-in-law then, and start, see what I'm saying? It's, she said something to me 14 years ago, but it's a point that I'm trying to make. And the point is that we can find all these things that are wrong with us and not go into any one thing of learning how to focus. So it's so important to say, okay, God, this thing. Otherwise, we're going to say, okay, God, this thing, and then another thing will come into your mind. Oh, don't forget about this God, and then this God, and then this God. And it's going to go nowhere. God's going to get confused and his head's going to be spinning around. What are you talking about? What do you want me to do? It's like someone coming up to me says, oh, give me energy. And I said, for what? And, can they tell me what they want energy for? They woke up this morning, they felt good or whatever. And I don't get it. Okay, so let's work with the knees. As you participate in your practicing of exercise or whatever, or stimulation in the muscles in there, you'll see that the knees will get stronger. I saw that. It takes a stimulation on your part. Sometimes I can work with people and it's almost like they have new knees. But sometimes I'll work with people and it's almost like God saying, okay, let that person contribute. So that being the case, it's important not to splinter your prayer, to keep it there. Once you forget what you're praying for and start praying about something else, and then you remember again, go back to it until you get to see a full prayer being answered, what it might be like to be answered. Does that make sense, Louis?
I think so. You just stick with one thing.
Yeah, and keep focusing on it. And the mind of fear is going to keep trying to splinter you. Go back to it. Keep going back to what you started to do.
What about the other things? Just let them go?
Well, it's better to let them go than have nothing answered because there's so much chaos.
Yeah, okay.
Then when one thing starts to improve in your life, then go to something else if there's something else there. Okay, God, we did this now, and it's starting to have an effect in my life, and it's starting to feel good, or I can do this now. So let's work on this, God. Stay with one thing. Otherwise, you're being splintered and you're not going to fulfill anything.
I got you. Now, as far as exercise, would a recumbent exercise bike be a good thing?
I don't
To
know
do?
anything about exercise. I really don't. All I know is almond M&Ms and frozen Snicker bars. So, and coffee. All right. And if I had my dithers, I would have a control unit for a TV in my hand sitting on the sofa. You know, unfortunately, I don't get that prerogative, but if it was my thing. So, all right. I know nothing health-wise or body-wise. So, all right, cool.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure. Bing, talk to me, my dear.
Um, what else can I say?
Anything in particular in your body that's bugging you, hon?
No, not really. It's like I said, it's just aches and pains, that I don't really dwell on it. I do my
Right.
exercise. And so I just don't let it bother me. I consciously um, do something. So like stretching and
Good.
and
And you're
it
doing
helps.
something for yourself all the time.
Right, right.
Good.
Yeah. I don't like to focus on my aches and pains.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it could be on my back, sometimes it can be on my shoulder, but I just don't let it bother me. I just
I hear you.
do what I,
I
you
hear
know,
you.
what I
All
want to.
right. So, would you mind if I asked a blessing on you?
Yes, please.
Okay. You got it.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Nini, anything in particular, my dear?
Hi, Mark. I would just like to request for a blessing. That's all.
I'm sorry?
Would just like to request for a blessing.
Sure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
As I was asking a blessing, I kept seeing that um, compared to several weeks ago and all the way back, it seems like you're more easygoing now. I don't know if you can relate to that.
Okay. I think I can. Thank you so much.
All right.
I
Thank you.
I got the meaning. Thank you.
All right, good. Blessings to you.
Very,
Thank you.
very good. Very good. Thank you so much, Mark.
All right. And Thea wanted me to work with something. Let's see if I can find it here. Where is Thea? There she is. All right. Work with the reflux. All right. Please keep me updated on that, how it is. Mark, you know I contacted you earlier. Please pray that I am not something reflux. That I am not reflux and not need medication. It has some side effects. Okay. Got it. All right, and please do keep me updated. I appreciate it. Apple, Thea. All right. Lynn, is there anything you'd like me to work with on?
I'll take a blessing.
You got it.
Thank you.
And any change that you're going through, don't act on it right away. If you have an inclination for something, um, uh, wait, watch, and listen to see how real it is and what it might turn into. Because it's already started without you doing anything. Capiche? Does that make sense almost?
Right now, but I'll re-listen and wonder about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
All right, my pleasure. My pleasure. You'll see. All right. Well, any questions I can try to answer? Have a few more minutes. Yes, please, Louis.
So, what exactly is happening when you give someone a blessing? What's taking place there?
I asked that their soul give them guidance and direction. Things might be made easier for them going through their change of life and to prepare them for a healing, a more perfect one than they can even imagine, in allowing God to do it. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Thanks.
All right. And while all that's happening, I may get to see something. And it's usually pretty right on. It's nothing that I'm looking for.
I'm not sure if I received the blessing from you, but I feel better now than I did before. I feel kind of just more relaxed and calm and just kind of okay with
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And it's called clarity. Yeah. Enjoy it. And when it starts to leave, try to remember it. Good. Excellent. Any other questions or comments I can try to answer, please?
Mark,
Any-
it's Bing. I do have some projects, and I just want some kind of prayer just to help it go through.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me any more about that?
It's my home in in Hawaii.
Okay. All right. All right, keep me updated, hon.
I will. Thank you.
All right. All right, everyone. No more questions or comments? And all right. God bless y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I won't be able to join you for until September.
Oh,
I
that's
will
fine.
be traveling, so I'll talk
All
to you in
right.
September. Thank you so much.
All right. Looking forward, Bing.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
everyone.
Thank you, Mark. Good night.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for the inspiration.
All right. Don't forget the website. And if you want to give anything from your heart, feel free. It's well accepted and well used. All right.
Okay, we'll try. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Mark.
God bless. Bye-bye.